Good evening, SocraPod squad. That's what I'm gonna call you now because I am cringe, but I am free. If you're wondering why I am sitting up in bed with Sprax, that's the name of this guy, short for dyspraxia, it is because it is absolutely freezing and the radiators are not working, and if I put my mini fan heater on, it will drown everything out. It is very noisy, so I am wearing all of the woolly things. It's a good chance to show off my cool hat anyway. I thought I'd start a series called Junk Food Bracelet Story Times, where I tell you a true story and make a junk food bracelet, which is a candy bracelet made out of junk. I have an embarrassingly large collection of junk. Today's junk food bracelet story time is going to be about the technically 2 times that I was unknowingly being fetish farmed. So I'm slightly nervous about disclosing this to the entire internet, but stay tuned. First of all, content warning. I will be talking about some not very nice things, including people non-consensually making people create fetish content online, which that's what fetish farming is. I will be mentioning a lot of unethical things and a lot of quite traumatic things that are done online, including to minors. So if you think you'll find that upsetting, I completely understand. If you don't want to watch this, that is absolutely fine. I will make some nicer SocraPod episodes in the future. For those of you wondering why am I making junk food bracelets, it is partly because they're awesome and partly because they are one of the top perks on my Patreon, linked below, or just search Socratina. I haven't actually got any patrons yet, so this is your chance to be the first patron. I will reveal the surprise I have in store for the first patron further through this video. So today I'm going to be talking about the times I got fetish farmed, since fetish farming seems to be a hot topic at the moment, or a trending topic. Either that or I'm completely on the wrong side of YouTube. Excuse me. That's probably somebody's fetish, and I'm doing it for free. How generous of me. First of all, I don't actually have anything against people having kinks and or fetishes. I think it's fine as long as things are being done consensually and nobody's being harmed. However, I am not a fan of fetish farming as it is known, because this is not a very consensual way of doing things. For those of you who don't know what fetish farming is, it's when somebody asks a content creator to do something weirdly specific or just something totally innocent seeming, just out of the blue, so that they've got something that looks innocent but is actually catering towards their fetish. For example, dress poofing. There are a lot of cases apparently on TikTok where people wearing large puffy dresses were asked to do the poof test to make their dress go poof. There are people who get off on that, believe it or not. Other things can include showing your feet, or like pretending to be tiny or pretending to be giant. While this seems totally innocent on the surface, it is actually a very sneaky way of finding material to get off to. And the thing that I don't really like about it is the person being asked to create the content doesn't actually know what they're doing or what they're consenting to, so it's not really consensual. Moreover, it is sadly often targeted at minors, and that's not okay. The first time I got fetish farmed, I think, was on Tumblr. I had a blog called Ask Kiwi Gamzee because I was a filthy homestuck back in the day, I will admit. My thing was, instead of like all those ones that say like Ask Gamzee, Ask Carcat, blah blah blah, Mine was like a New Zealand version of Gamsey, so it was just Gamsey but Kiwi. He drank L&P instead of Fago, and he said bro all the time, mother flipper instead of the other word. And want a chip bro, that kind of stuff. Anyway, some random person asked me, make a toe family. Just some anon was like, make a toe family. And I was like, oh, that's actually kind of a cool idea. But it seemed just a bit off to me, so I decided not to make a toe family, and I just said, trolls don't have toes, bro. I assume a toe family is like when you draw little faces on your toes so they look like a family. I don't know. It took me a while to figure out why that was kind of a rather pinkish flag for me. I think it was probably someone who just wanted to see my feet. To be honest, I did consider that at one point when I was trying to raise money for coming here to Guildhall. I was like, if things get really bad, if I really can't afford my course fees, I've always got my own 2 feet to stand on. So that is why, yeah, Patreon. So I don't have to resort to taking feet pics. And the first person who signs up as a patron, I solemnly swear that you will be given a signed print of this picture. Yep, I did not, it wasn't a toe family, but it was a foot individual. I made that when I was about 19 and I was just screwing around. I had too much time on my hands then. I mean, I probably should give this person the benefit of the doubt because they were probably just shit posting. But I don't know. I have my suspicions. Again, I don't have anything against people liking feet in that way. You do you, but it's just the sort of the sneakiness of the way people try and get content. Not a fan. So next time, if you want feet, you got to pay for the feet. My Patreon is sock themed after all, so might as well have a foot related tier. Let me know how much you want to pay for that. And the second one, this one's really juicy in my opinion. There is an entire vocal cord fetish community. I kid you not. It's quite the industrial complex. The first I heard of these people was, I would have been, again, 19 years old, very naive. I had no idea what was going on, but I'd just started a vocal degree at the University of Waikato, and I was trying to sort of network online, and someone approached me saying, hey, I'd like to start a community, an online community of female opera singers. And I was like, okay, cool. And this community seemed to be really into voice science, which is a big part of classical singing these days. That, like, part of our class was being shown like a close-up of somebody's vocal cords, which is kind of shaped like this, and it kind of looks like something else. And so I was like, oh, okay, these people are really scholarly. They're into their voice science and they're into their singing. This is good. This will benefit my future singing endeavors. So I ended up joining all these groups and things online, and I couldn't help thinking, like, am I crazy, or is this like a little bit pervy? Like, there were all these sort of close-ups of like only women's throats and vocal cords and things. I'm like, there's just something not quite right about this. Being the goofy, naive 19-year-old that I was, I agreed to go on Skype with this person. They were like, oh, I'd really like to see if you can, like, expose your vocal cords by, like, pulling your tongue down with a tissue, which is, apparently people can do that. I can't, but I tried, and it was screenshotted by this person, and it was put in the group. And I assumed at the time, like, oh, it's for science. But, like, there was just this thing in the back of my mind that was like, something's off, because they really emphasized that they didn't want anyone else to be in the room while I was on Skype with them. I can't believe I didn't pick up on those red flags right away, but I was a very gullible, naive, late teenager, is that the word? Later I consulted some of my friends on it and was like, is this actually, like, is it just me or is this a bit pervy? And they were like, yeah, it's definitely pervy, it's obviously pervy. And I was like, oh dear. So there is still, I presume, a photo out there floating around of 19-year-old me with my tongue pulled down, attempting to expose my vocal cords, or folds as we call them in the voice industry. That's rather embarrassing. I joked for a long time that I'm technically an unpaid vocal porn star. I did block this person because they were being quite sneaky. Again, nothing against fetishes, just the sneakiness I'm not a fan of. But they have resurfaced since. So voice people, singers, voice teachers, voice scientists, etc. Someone asks you to join an online community of this kind, or gives you some very strangely specific compliments on your neck or your larynx or even just your voice or anything like that, I would recommend steering clear. If you are a member of one of these communities, again, nothing wrong with your kinks. Your kinks are fine. Love that for you. But just please, I ask, keep things consensual, and if you want photos, you gotta pay for them. I'm sorry. This is terrible. I can't believe I'm offering people photos of my vocal folds. This is ridiculous. I'm not being serious, by the way, but I mean, if someone offers me like thousands of dollars for a picture of my larynx, I don't think I'd say no, to be honest. I mean, my larynx is my livelihood in more ways than one. So yeah, those were the times that I got fetish farmed. And while I think it's quite a funny story myself, I am aware that it could be quite traumatic for some people. I am one of the lucky ones, really, that it was only of things like feet and throats. Feet and throats. Feet and throats. But I know that it can actually be quite a traumatic experience for some people, and it's really awful when it happens to minors. So if you're looking for content, I would advise looking for it in a more consensual way. I'm sure there are groups and there are pages where people do these things knowing exactly what content they're putting out there and do it consensually, and sure, you might have to pay for it, but I think it's better than creating trauma for someone. I hate to be the moralistic lectury person, but that's my 2 cents. By the way, no hate to those of you who do that sort of content for a living. I think that's kind of cool that you have the confidence to do that, but I was scared of making even this video, so I'd prefer to just make bracelets. I have no attention span. This isn't even finished, but it says cringe. We wish you a Merry Cringemas and a Happy New Year. If you'd like a bracelet made of junk and candy, not real candy, please sign up to my Patreon. Because I am technologically a dinosaur, basically, I haven't quite figured out how to get the 2 screens thing to happen, but one day I will. It looks like I'm blessing you when I do that, some sort of weird screen blessing. But here is my Patreon. Woo! You can be a sock ratty. Sock ratties, like Socrates, get it? For $5 a month, you can vote on my next YouTube content. You will get monthly exclusive live streams, and you will get exclusive songs and vlogs that are a bit too risque for the main. Or if you want to be a sock rocker, for $10 a month, You can have all the Socratty perks, that sounds weird, as well as virtual singing lessons with me. And I don't mean to brag, but I know what I'm doing when it comes to singing because I'm doing a master's at Guildhall. Or if you would like to be Soc royalty, this is the VIP membership where you will get all of the Soc Rocker perks, virtual singing lessons, vote on content, monthly live streams, exclusive songs and vlogs, and also a monthly mystery goodie pack. Basically handmade merch by me. I absolutely love crafting. I made this scarf in case you couldn't tell. So that will include the junk food bracelet. I'll probably also make stickers and little doodles and whatever takes my fancy. You'll get a surprise merch in inverted commas package every month, including all these other perks for $20 a month. I hope you all have a happy new year. I wish you a very cringe 2025. This is the SocraPod and I don't have an ending theme because I am too lazy. La 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 la.